How you doing, everybody? My name is Bill, and with 24/7 Realty, and I'm here with some other fairly new realtors to discuss some of the hardships of becoming a realtor that you may not be aware of, and then some of the other hurdles and stories and obstacles and things we've had happen to us over the past year or so as we start our journey into real estate. Raul, take it away.
What a great intro. I'm Raul. I don't know if I could top that one off, but also a realtor. Been licensed for about 3 years now. Love the business. It's been very great to me. But today we're going to talk about some of the in-depth situations that aren't normally talked about. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my colleagues over here, starting with my boy.
What's up, y'all? My name is Carl. I've been licensed for about 7 months now actively. And yeah, I'll pass it on to Belen.
Hi, my name is Belen. I'm a brand new realtor. I just got licensed about 2 months ago. So I'm excited to hear what everyone has to say so that I can prepare with time, you know?
Nice. Yeah.
Nice. I think you're in a good spot. Luckily for you, you chose a good brokerage right off the bat because we've got Real now, but we also have support here. So when I first started, I joined a brokerage that was EXP, and I didn't have a home office. So I thought, I'll just figure it out myself, and I didn't realize all the stuff you need and how much support you need. So you chose a great brokerage to start. I think it's going to give you a big leg up.
Everyone has been so welcoming, and they're willing to help me with anything. So I love it.
The good vibes.
The brokerage, I feel like, when people talk about real estate, it's like, what brokerage are you with? Like there's like a certain prestige or whatever. But I mean, I think what most people fail to understand is that it's not the brokerage that's selling houses, it's you as a person. And I think it's what the brokerage can provide is maybe the environment and maybe some resources, but ultimately it's up to you to decide what your success is going to be. And I'm a real big person on my environment, right? And every time I'm in this brokerage, man, I do got to say, like, it's just one of the most positive and kind of, to Belen's point, super supportive and just it's very welcoming, very very welcoming.
It's real.
It's
it's
dude,
real.
Yeah.
I mean, I think something you really have to lean into as a new realtor is being able to ask questions, not being afraid to go to people and ask.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just a fly on the wall, it's going to be a lot tougher than if you reach out and ask questions. And the sooner I started leaning in and trying to ask more questions, and when I got over here, really, I was able to be in an office, be around other people to collaborate with. Things started really taking off for me and got a lot easier. But real estate's a tough business. I sold copiers for 30 years.
Yeah.
And
Tell me more about that, man. Tell me about your experience, dude.
Real estate is just as tough. The difference is it's a ton more rewarding because you're working for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And like you just said, it's really up to you. It's not the brokerage. It's not anybody else. It's really up to you to make it happen.
I couldn't agree more, man. Yeah. How long have you been doing real estate for?
I got my license in 2019, but I was still selling copiers up until November of 2020. That's when I started.
Be honest, is it tougher selling copiers than it is to sell a house?
It's pretty much the same. I mean, I don't think there's a huge difference between the two. The difference is selling copiers, you're not working for yourself here, even though you are working for a broker. It's your own business. You really sink or swim on your own performance.
1,000%. No, yeah.
And I mean, it does help. You can work really hard if you're not in the right environment and fail as well. Too.
Right.
So, but that's your responsibility to put yourself in the right environment.
Yeah.
This brokerage is a great fit for me.
Okay.
And I think it's a great fit for most people probably because it's got a wide range of offerings.
Of course. Just so you guys know, by the way, Belen, because I know you just started, and Carl, I'm not sure if he knows, but he's actually, like, this man is the man, the myth, the legend. He's literally top producer, copy sales. No, I'm being so serious. My man over here sold, like, copy machines and made a killing doing it. What was the trend? Oh, you're so humble, dude. What was the transition like selling copiers?
You're making me. It's hot.
What was the transition like? Tell me more about that, man. What was the transition like selling selling copiers? Going door to door versus doing real estate, and what are some of the hardships, if you will, that you faced in the transition?
Well, when I was selling copiers, COVID is what basically changed me from copier salesman to a full-time realtor. Yeah, I got my real estate license because I was working with an agent who's a close friend of mine named Jamie Hopkins for Team Metro downtown. He's a big agent.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I was working with him. He was working with a group. They were doing rehabs, flips, basically. So I was an unlicensed assistant for him. I actually had to go down and take a class. And
Oh, get out of here.
so I was in the MLS
Hustling.
every night. Yeah, I was hustling.
Hustling.
Sell copiers during the day, and at night I was in the MLS looking for properties to flip. This was 10 years ago.
Tight.
And,
10 years. That's a different market.
Yeah.
Market.
Different market, different game. You
Mortgage
can't
market.
find flip properties on the MLS anymore, but
Yeah.
at least you can't as easily as you could back in those days. But anyway, COVID came and I had my license anyway, so I just
Nice.
said, I might as well do this. I can still operate doing real estate. When I
Nice,
couldn't really
man.
do copiers, and I just discovered that, God, Bill, you're an idiot. You should have done this 25 years ago.
Imagine.
And I do imagine. all the
Imagine if
time.
you would have bought a house in 2012.
Well, I imagine that too. But I definitely imagine, and I look at guys like you who I see kicking butt, and Carl, and yourself, and I envy you because you're in such an envious position right now where you can go kill it. And I want to see you guys do it. I really want to see it happen. And I think it will because you guys bust your ass, and I love it. I love the energy I get out of the young people in this office. I mean, I'm probably one of the older guys in here. And I feed off as much as you say, Bill gives advice or whatever. I get as much back from the energy I get from teaching people. And then I learn more stuff in here than I teach, that's for sure.
Man, that's awesome. I think that's what it's about, right? I think it's about that reciprocity, that two-way street type of thing.
Reciprocity, yeah. I know what you mean.
Man, I can't speak English sometimes.
Yeah, that one.
That word. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, no, it's definitely, you get back what you put in, and maybe even tenfold, just with people that are here and the resources that are available. But enough about the brokerage, dude. I'm trying to get to the grimy stuff. Not the grimy stuff, but just some of the things you've seen in the field, man. Either showing properties or just give me a story. Give me something like that isn't talked about normally, like when people think of like a real estate agent.
Well, let's talk about some of the things that we didn't expect, right? I
Okay,
knew,
let's start there.
I mean, I'll tell you, number one for me is the number of escrows that fall out. And right now in this time, this market, escrows are falling out at double the normal pace, right? Normally they fall out at like 15%. It's 30 something right now. Escrows in the last couple of months because of the turmoil in the market, right? All the buyers are unsure what's going on, and sellers aren't sure what to do with repairs, and so there's just all this turmoil, and so escrows are falling out at a big pace. So when you work for 6 months, this is something new agents don't realize. You can work for 6 months and get this thing right down to the finish line, show people 35 houses, and this is not an exaggeration. That is an exact number, 35.
That's
and then have
crazy.
it go out of escrow after it's down to the very last day on the 13th day of a 15-day close. And it can really devastate you. When that happens. So people.
I think that's an understatement.
Well, look, people who aren't in real estate, what do they see? They see the people from Texas on TV flipping houses, making millions of dollars, and working 2 hours a day, and spending time with their kids and having the time of their lives.
And they think it's all freaking sunshine and rainbows, man.
And it's a grind. It's a grind, but you can do very well at it as well. So it's definitely going to be hard work, and I think everyone has to realize that. And I think people especially. I think we all obviously realize that because we're here. Right?
We wouldn't be. Yeah.
But I think people on the outside think, oh, he's a realtor. Oh, what's he doing?
He makes
whacker.
money.
And he's just rolling in cash and not doing any work.
You know what's crazy, dude? I get like what you said, and I get what you said. Like it's either very one way or the other. It's like, oh, he's in real estate. Oh, this guy's making bank. Like he must be doing really good, Or it's the other way. Like, oh, this guy's just a slimy slime ball, Mr. McSlimigan. Yeah, like just trying to rob me of my money.
Yeah.
There's another hardship deal that I didn't expect. Like in Copiers.
The stereotypes?
Yes, in Copiers.
1,000%.
I knew that was a kind of a sleaze thing. And used car salesman, right? There's a kind of a connotation there. Even
I remember those
probably
days.
not bad people, but you think used car salesman. And I think I find that there's a lot of suspicion and people treat you with kid gloves. People keep you at a distance. It's very difficult to gain their trust. And I don't necessarily. That always kind of disarms me because I feel I'm super trustworthy. I know I am. So I feel like everybody else should feel that way too, and they don't always.
Yeah.
So you deal with tons of different personalities, and you've got to be able to adjust to that as well.
I hear you. What about you, man? You've been kind of quiet over there, dude.
Yeah,
What's
man.
going on, bro?
It's definitely hard. A lot of people think it's easy, like when they watch a show like Selling Sunset, especially.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna sell $1 million house, make the $50K or $100K commission. It's like I'm done for the year or something. But it's not, bro.
I get you.
I've been active for 7 months now, still
Okay.
0 sales. I thought it was easy at first when I first got my license, but
Yeah.
it's really not. I got a lot of friends messaging me like they want to do real estate, and I tell them the truth. It's like, it's not easy, bro.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions when I went into real estate personally is like the whole like, oh, I'm going to escape my 9 to 5 and I'm going to just stop doing school because this is going to be like a way easier way to make money. I was doing car sales at the time and I was like, well, I could sell a car, I could sell a house. And yeah, I got my license and I didn't sell anything my first year. I was like cheese and crackers. This is tough, man.
Cup noodles.
Cup noodles, maruchan. Yeah, man. It was definitely, again, like it goes circling back to like my earlier point. It's like you get what you put out though. You know, like it's not a 9 to 5. It's like a 24-hour thing. Like you constantly have to be procuring business.
Yep.
And I think once I realized that, like my business just skyrocketed. And I'm pretty blessed to this day.
Hard
So.
work pays off, man.
You put in the time and effort, and we have
Yeah.
100+ agents here at this.
Is
just
that right?
I think so. Just in the South brokerage.
Can you
I think.
confirm that? Do we have
100 plus?
We have 120, so there it is. So we 120 agents, and we know, like in this room, we know who's like that's doing that work every day, right? There's a certain
Oh yeah.
people.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
no offense to anybody who's not. They can live their lives and do whatever they want to do. I'm not judging anybody, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, it takes to be successful in your first few years. It takes grinding, unless you have, an ideal situation. There's some people, if you have young kids, I mean, you can take advantage of that. There's ways to leverage if you're in the right position.
Yeah.
We have agents here right now. Juliet's a perfect example. We have an agent here who's got a kid who's in like the 3rd grade or something, and so everybody's buying houses that are in her class, and so
Yeah.
she's smart, and she's managed to network in through the families that her kids go to school with and play sports with and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's cool the type of creativity that you see around the office, like, people networking, like what you just said, like networking in their children's schools or networking at a Starbucks. I heard a story the other day. My buddy, he sold a house to the guy that drove him in the MTS bus. He sold him a condo, but still he got him into a house. I think a big part of the business is just, making friends with people and just informing more than anything. Just like, hey, did you know? Like you might actually.
Not being what they call a secret agent is huge. Like,
Thank you.
not
That
being a
was what I
secret
was
agent.
trying to. I don't know why I had a fat brain fart,
You
man.
definitely
I was like, what's the word?
You want to tell everybody without being too salesy. Like I don't want to be the guy who's trying to sell insurance to my uncle. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy ever. I never want.
Yeah.
I don't like being salesy. I
Yeah.
don't want to be jamming anything down anybody's throat ever. I'm just not that guy.
Yeah.
But you can't be afraid to tell people what you do. In fact, you need to tell people what you do. Otherwise, they're not going to know.
I think that's one of the most least talked about hidden gems in real estate. What you just said right now. I think not enough agents are letting the public know that they're here to be of service. I think for me, that's really what transformed my business was, just talking about what it is that I do and being of value to people by informing myself constantly. That's one of the ways that,
Totally.
we got to where we're at today.
I mean, one thing that I can recommend, and for any sales, educate yourself on what you're selling. Right? Become educated.
Know your
about
product.
Know your product.
Know
Know
your
the
product.
market, so that you can
Know
speak
your audience
intelligently.
too.
If you can speak intelligently on the topic, you're going to feel much more comfortable speaking.
1,000%. Yeah.
If you're winging it, you're going to know you're winging it, and that's going to make you nervous while you're trying to wing it, and everyone's going to know you're full of shit.
Get the BS radar.
What happened?
I mean, that's
the BS rate. Oh yeah.
That's the way it works.
1,000%.
So one thing I don't mean to dominate the conversation, but one thing I noticed was for me was, I mean, income is a big concern when you first get started. If you don't have any income,
Tell me more about that. Yeah.
income coming in for a
I'm
year.
glad you touched on that. Yeah.
And I was in a different position than you guys possibly, because I mean, I was already 50-something years old. I've got 2 kids in college.
He makes over 6 figures, people.
No, I mean,
He was doing pretty good for himself.
I'm not in the same spot as a 25-year-old, so there's no way I could
Yeah.
just not have any income for months at a time. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So, there's ways to make money using your real estate license as a realtor that have nothing to do with selling houses, that you can go out and earn a living if you wanted to, and use your real estate license doing it. So there's ways to make sure you're covered if you really want to get into it and do it.
I couldn't
But
agree more.
income's a huge concern. You know, until you start selling houses, there's no money coming in. No one's going to pay you to be in the office, and there's money going out, right? You're marketing, you're buying signs.
Dude, I remember, so I guess the topic is like hardships, right? I remember one of my biggest hardships was the income. I had zero money coming in. So I remember my first semester, I was, I must have been like 19, turning 20. I had just gotten licensed and I was still doing school. And I actually took some of my FAFSA money to pay for my living expenses. And I ran out of money really quickly. So then I was like, all right, shit, now I have to sell out. Now I have to sell a house. Yeah.
It will definitely give you a sense of urgency. That's for sure.
Yeah. Hey, Belen, but like, Loki, now that you're here, what's your background? Like, I feel like, you just started 3 months ago. This is probably the first time.
Yeah, so I went to college. I graduated with a degree in sociology.
Oh, nice.
Which is very broad. So when I graduated, I had no idea what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And then I just started applying to random jobs, but that was when COVID started. So I feel like people weren't really hiring as much. And then I uploaded my resume to ZipRecruiter, and this lady called me from a staffing company and asked me if I wanted to work for a mortgage company as a loan processor. So I did that for about, I think, 8 months.
Oh, nice.
And then I was laid off, like, unexpectedly, along with, like, I don't know, 30 other people because the rates were going up. And then, so I was like, okay, like, what's next? Like, I don't know what to do. And then, so I was like, I want to work for myself. I don't want to keep relying on, a company that can lay you off whenever they feel like it.
Yeah.
So,
I feel that for sure.
So that's when I started my real estate journey. And I remembered that my dad had, we had a house growing up.
Okay.
And we lived there for about 10 years. And then when the recession happened, we lost it. So I started informing myself, educating myself, and I was like, okay, well, my dad was a victim of predatory lending.
Ooh.
So I don't think he was even able to afford the house to begin with, but they just gave him the loan.
Yep, there was a lot of that.
Yeah.
Time, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I'm grateful that we had a lot of memories in that house, but it was very difficult. And then it affected my dad mentally, and then I just started thinking, like, I don't want any other family to go through what we went through. And that's why my goal is to just educate and inform people.
I tried to wrap it up like 6 times, but Raul kept going. I wrapped it up like 4 times, and he said, "Well, and one more time."
Serious note.
Yeah, and one more thing. You did good though. I mean, it was great. I was just like, she's signaling me to wrap it up. I'm like, and so. And
I could have kept talking for a whole hour.